I think it's pretty clear that when a TV show is based off a video game and it's good, there will be a massive spike in the popularity of that game. Just look at Arcane from League of Legends with its amazing art style and gripping storyline, or Cyberpunk Edgerunners, which quite literally saved Cyberpunk 2077 and low-key was just one of the best animes of all time, which I'm still suffering from crippling depression because of that show. But anyway, now it's Fallout's turn, and with the Fallout franchise being in the spotlight now, it's not only shining a light on the amazing games, but also the elephant in the room, which is that we're not going to be seeing a new mainline Fallout game in a very long time. Or will we? In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the future of Fallout, and why we may just be getting a new game sooner than you think. It's been a little over a month since the Fallout TV show was released, and it was a massive hit, currently sitting at a 93% critic score and an 89% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. It's clear that this was a well-received show. Granted, the show did change a few liberties to the lore, which some fans were quite vocal with, and honestly that is understandable at the end of the day, but I do think that they are, when they're trying to adapt a video game into a TV show, I mean, it's almost impossible that it's going to 100% translate from the game to the big screen. So honestly, I think with the small changes to the lore that the show made, at the end of the day, I'm totally fine with that. And because of the success from the TV show, there has been a huge spike in the player numbers across the Fallout games. Just keep in mind that these numbers are the Steam charts, and a lot of people do play Fallout on console or just Xbox Game Pass, so this is just a part of the picture. Fallout 4 has seen the biggest uptake with over 60,000 players gained, Fallout 76 player count increased by over 35k, and New Vegas peaked at 26k viewers in a 24-hour peak. And it is worth mentioning that the player numbers for Fallout 4 isn't just attributed to the show alone, they also just did come out with a new kind of HD upgrade to the game, so that's kind of a reason why a lot of people are coming back and trying it out. Granted, the update kind of broke a lot of mods and the game's kind of buggy, but that's classic Bethesda for you. The point here is that fans are hungry for Fallout. It's clear that they want to immerse themselves in the world or worlds, and this is all they've got. This would have been a perfect time to announce a new game or release a new game for fans to play, and it would have gotten a massive player reception, but sadly there's just nothing out there for the moment for fans to sink their teeth into. There is a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel though. In June, Fallout 76 is going to be releasing their biggest content update for the game thus far, and it's called Skyline Valley, and it's basically going to be extending the playable map for players to go out and explore, and just from the trailer alone, it looks like it's a pretty sizable location. And fans are not the only ones looking at the whole situation and realizing that they want more Fallout. No, Xbox has noticed this too, and while we don't have any official statements, we do have some rumors that are floating about. In an article on Insider Gaming, they claim that Xbox is hyper aware of the anticipation for the next Fallout game, and that they're eager to explore opportunities to make this arrive sooner rather than later. Todd Howard, you love him or hate him, the head guy over at Bethesda has said in a recent interview that right now their big focus is going to be on Elder Scrolls 6, and then after that they're going to begin work on Fallout 5. But if you guys do some basic math, Elder Scrolls 6 doesn't even have a release date yet, but if I were to take a guess, I would say at the very earliest, we'll probably be getting it in the year 2026. If everything goes well. Then after that, you gotta take into fact that, for Fallout 5, it's probably gonna be at least 4 to 5 years after that. So the potential release date for Fallout 5 is the year 2030, which is insane. Now, if I were to take a guess, I would imagine that the higher-ups over at Xbox are looking at this as something that's just unacceptable. Right now, they're more than likely already in works to try to hand off Fallout to a new studio, so that way they can get the game out sooner rather than later. Now again, these are just rumors, and the word on the street is that Xbox is already looking at Obsidian as a potential studio that could take over Fallout. Now, I do have my own reservations on Obsidian. They're not the same studio that made Fallout New Vegas anymore. The people that made that game that were working at Obsidian are no longer there. I mean, if you guys look at Obsidian's last game, The Outer Wilds, which in my opinion was a terrible game. When you take a look at that game, the main story quest line was like 3 to 4 hours long, so it was incredibly short. The playable areas in the different locations were all really small and just felt claustrophobic, and that is why I don't want those devs to be the ones to make the next Fallout. No, I think instead Xbox should look for another studio, or even make a new one to create the next game. And this is a good thing, by the way. To those of you that have your reservations, or you might sound worried about this happening, let me remind you that Starfield was not a very good game, and before that, Fallout 4 was very split on the player base. It was a massive change in the direction from New Vegas, and a lot of people didn't like that. The point I'm trying to get at here is that having Bethesda make the next game isn't a guarantee that the game is going to be good. If they did hand it off to a new studio, I think we have a 50-50 chance that it's going to be good or bad. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, those are odds that I'm willing to go with at the cost of possibly getting the next game in a few years rather than 10 plus years. I don't know how old you guys are, but I'm 35. I don't want to be buying Fallout 5 when I'm 45. And I don't know why that just rhymed, but it just came out that way. Now, if Xbox does do this, it is a very good idea. They need to do what Activision does with Call of Duty. To those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Activision has multiple studios all working on different iterations of Call of Duty. You've got Infinity Ward, Treyarch Games, and Sledgehammer Games, with all of them working on different versions of Call of Duty, which allows Activision to release a new game pretty much every year. In my opinion, Xbox needs to do this with Bethesda. They need to split the IPs up into separate studios, which would allow them to fully dedicate studios to those different games. Could you guys imagine if we got a new Elder Scrolls game, new Fallout, and new Starfield every 2 years? That would be amazing. So honestly, I think we're going to be seeing a lot more Fallout in the near future, and if you guys want to dip your toes and immerse yourselves in Fallout, then I highly recommend you check out the Fallout TV show on Amazon Prime. If you guys want to get a spoiler-free review of the show, you can check out my video right here where I talk about what I liked and disliked about it. So definitely check it out, and I'll see you guys over there.